Welcome back. I am so excited to be recording again. It is amazing just to be able to have this platform to be able to talk with all of you and just to share my thoughts. We have finally made it to Indiana. What a trip. I feel like this whole year has been kind of crazy, kind of busy. Looking back, I have no idea how we are almost 7 months done with this year. By the time this posts, we're going on the 8th month. So it's pretty crazy. I feel like I have learned a lot this year, and I know that I will continue to grow more. But I thought that this would be a good episode to welcome us back to get ready for some amazing episodes, but also to just share some of the thoughts that I've been learning and what I've been experiencing as a mom and as a woman. A theme that I find myself repeating in my head is we're just building resiliency. So I thought this would be a good time just as like a verbal journal and to just document some of the things that I've gone through. And who knows, maybe it helps someone else. Maybe some of you can help me because I feel like I can use all the help I can get. I know that life continues to get wild, but here are some of my thoughts of what has gone on this year and take it or leave it. But this is going to be just me this episode. So, welcome back. I am really excited to have all of you here. I'm excited to share the upcoming women that are going to be on. It's going to be pretty amazing. Welcome to Grow Wild. I'm your host, Kaylee, and I'm excited to spotlight moms in all phases of life and build community in our own experiences. Let's grow together in this wild journey of motherhood. Well, what a wild journey this year has been. I feel like looking back in January, there are so many things that have happened, and I thought I would just kind of debrief it. If no one cares to listen to this, that's totally fine. I think this is really a cool thing for me to do because I can go back and listen. It's a way that I'm journaling what's happened in my life. And if I can get any help from anyone, I am truly grateful. Back in January, I set some goals for myself, and I even said them on here. Some of them were to create space to study my scriptures and to journal and to just take some me time. I feel like I did honestly a pretty good job with that, and I have been doing a good job with that. It got a little crazy when Weiler was born and during the move, but I'm trying to get back into that routine of it because I really notice a difference in my life and in my day. So I'm really trying to get back on that. And it's so interesting. Sometimes I have like no motivation to, even though I know my life will be better. The other thing was getting outside and finding unique ways to get outside. I think we've been doing that. I really try to get us outside, even just getting out of the house to do something, because I know all of us will have a much better time. I also think parenting outside of the home is way easier, whether we're at the library, the pool, or the park. I don't know. I just think that it's way easier. The mess stays way easier to clean up. And I honestly just love seeing Owit adventure in the wild. And eventually, Weiler will join him. There's a river where we live right now, and Owit is loving it. So it's been really fun to see him just experience a new body of water. Rivers are something new for us. And the other one was just finding time for myself. That one's been trickier since Weiler has been born. I think I was doing a pretty good job up before I gave birth. It was easier. I felt like we had a good schedule of how things went. And once Weiler was born, it's like that whole newborn craziness. Really, it's a lot. You take a hit during that newborn phase. And I think I'm finally resurfacing. But at the beginning, I was like, I need some time alone. And it's just really hard to find that time. I nurse Weiler, so I exclusively try to breastfeed. I do pump a little bit, so we have bottles. But initially, I was like, maybe I'll just not even try to pump because I don't really love it. But I soon realized I needed to do that because I needed just some space. But even just carving out like 30 minutes where I can go on a walk by myself, no kids attached or anything, was really good. And then we went into this crazy move, and now I'm just finally getting back into the routine of things. So I'm finally working out again. It feels really great. My body really needed it, and I think it'll only get better. I have to remind myself that it's okay to slow down. It's really hard for me. I will forever really struggle with this. I think 3 months has been an eternity at times when I know that it's just part of the process. So I need to be okay with that. And now that I think I'm finally getting active again, that it really has gotten better, like my mental state, I just go a little stir crazy. It's really hard for me to just be at home and be in, and it's really hard for me to just relax. So I'm learning to be better at that. And I think my kids will like that too, just for us to slow down. So I'm trying. I'm really trying to slow that down. That was one of my goals. So that's one that I'm still working on. But I wanted to just recap a little bit of how this year has been going. It's been really, really wild. So back in January, we had the opportunity to do an internship out in Indiana. So we decided that it would be a really great opportunity for our family and for our future life. So Troy is in the middle of his PhD program right now. So we put that on pause. We packed up everything that we could fit into a tiny U-Haul, and we are now in Indiana for 6 months. It feels a little insane, I won't lie. The move went pretty good. We drove out here and the boys did really great. But before I really get into that, so we just moved here like a month ago, and Weiler, though, was born in April. So we welcomed our second baby boy. I think I was honestly a little shocked that he was a boy. I thought he was going to be a girl. I thought there's no way I would have two boys in a row. I love it though. I love my little boys, and it's everything I could want. I would be grateful for a girl too, but I'm really happy. And we get to save money on not having to buy girl clothes because I would buy way too many. So I'm kind of all over the place. But so January, we decided we were going to do the internship. February passes. I don't think anything crazy happened that month. March hits. I get a letter in the mail saying that I have a green card interview, and it's 2 days after my due date. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I need to find a way to try to reschedule this because we have been waiting for this interview for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I have not been to Canada. So we're like, we got to do everything to make it happen. I tried calling, seeing if I can reschedule the next week or something. They tell me there's no way to reschedule. You just get put on a wait list. Who knows when? So there's no definitive date of when you'll get your rescheduled date. So I was like, all right, we got to do it. So I was kind of ready to just risk it. And whenever the baby came, and we would go to the interview on that time. Troy is a little more conservative than me. And he was like, we can't risk that. That's a little crazy. That's a little too much. So I talked to my doctor, and we were able to decide that I would get induced a week early at 39 weeks. So people listening are probably thinking, whoa, that's a little crazy. You're going to change your due date or change when you're delivering for a green card interview. If you have been through this process, I feel like you'll get it. It's been really hard. And yeah, so we just went and decided that 39 weeks was going to be it. And that was even a battle too, because I couldn't even deliver at my local hospital. I had to deliver one a little bit farther away just to make sure that it could happen. My hospital wasn't taking planned inductions. I was convinced that Weiler was going to come early anyways because I had been having contractions, but turns out that boy was ready to stay in there a little bit longer. So that was March. And then April rolls around, 39 weeks hits, and I get induced. They do an ultrasound at the beginning, and Weiler, they didn't know if it's boy or girl. We didn't either. So they just say baby is measuring at 9 pounds. And I thought, that's fine. That's what they said about Owit, and he was 8 something. So they all kind of started not freaking out, but they were just like, okay, this is what our potential options are. I loved the doctor. I thought she was really awesome. I thought she did a really good job at being personable, but also telling me the risks of things. So she was saying, like, you have a big baby, but you're also a tall person. So that makes sense. Also, be aware that, like, if you can't push out your baby, then we will have to do a C section or other things that could happen. And she's like, I don't want this to happen, like episiotomies or anything like that. She's like, I don't want that to happen, but I just need you to know that these are potential risks that could, we try to avoid them at all costs. So I got a little nervous at first. And then one of the things she was like, as soon as that head pops out, you just keep pushing. Like you push no matter what until that whole baby's out because we don't want the shoulders to sprawl open. And I don't remember them saying that with Oit. So that really like stuck with me. And then she said, and if you want, we can do a C-section right now and it can all be over. But I really wanted to have a vaginal delivery. I did with Oit. I thought it went really well for the most part. So I thought, let's just do it. So we start the induction. And honestly, it all went really smooth. Like, shout out to the nurses and the doctor again. Like, they were really awesome and they were super supportive. I think I only had one nurse that was like, she just had a really tiny hands, and I felt like she had no idea what she was looking for up there. So every cervical exam, I was like, this sucks. I was ready for it to be over. But that went really fast. There was a few scary moments. At one point, Weiler's heart rate dropped, and it was really unfortunate timing because I asked Troy to go get dinner, and I was kind of saying a milkshake would be good. And I also really wanted Cane's. I had never had Cane's chicken before. So he went out and he would have been back like super quick, but then he was going to surprise me with a milkshake. But that ended up taking like an hour. But while he was gone, Weiler's heart rate dropped, and that was kind of scary. I hadn't experienced that before. So they like put the oxygen on me and were just doing other things, shot me with something. I should know what they did, but I don't. And that helped the situation. And then they had to do a different treatment plan for getting me dilated. Troy came back and I was like all hooked up and he was like, what is going on? I think I had finished being scared and I think he was initially like, what is going on? So we reassured him. But then the bummer, I couldn't eat any of the food. So I was not able to eat, which was really sad because they were like, yeah, you might be able to eat. I wasn't. So I was really sad. I still had to hold out on Cane's chicken. I was still waiting. So then time went on. I think by the time things got ready to go, it had been like 20 hours, 24 hours. I think we had just reached about a day. So right before I delivered him, Weiler's heart rate dropped again. I had gotten the epidural at this point. By the time I got the epidural, I think I was around like 6 centimeters. I don't remember fully about that. But I just remember being like, okay, I'm done. Let's do this. And it had been a long go, so I was like ready to rest. I also was really nervous because I pushed for 4 hours with Oit, so I really wanted to avoid that. I was really nervous that was going to happen again. The doctor came in. She hyped me up again. She was so awesome. Tyler's heart rate dropped, so that's when everyone came rushing in and they're like, we just got to get this baby out. He's looking really low. He's ready to go. I had reached 10 centimeters. So they were like, let's do this. So we got everything ready. And I feel like within 5 minutes, everyone was ready. And I was nervous to push, but everyone was so amazing. And all of a sudden, there was like this flood of all these nurses and doctors, and they were all female. And I thought that was just like really empowering while pushing. Obviously, I had Troy, and he is really great. I think that is something he really surprised me at, was how supportive and amazing he was. And he's an awesome and amazing husband, so I should have known. But I just wasn't sure. Like, giving birth is kind of a crazy experience. So I had him right beside me and he was doing great. And then as soon as I started pushing, the whole room just was cheering my name, screaming for me, yelling. It was so amazing. I was like, I can do this. I can do this. And I think it was after like 4 pushes, I think. And he was out, like, and not just out, like the dude flew out because I was so nervous about him getting stuck that I was like, I got to push extra hard. They were like, the head's out. And I just pushed even harder. And I just remember seeing, this is TMI, but I just remember seeing water like spray everywhere. I was like, whoa, it's a little slippery baby. And I just remember him being put on me and thinking, hallelujah, I'm over. I'm done with this. I like get the IV taken out, hopefully soon. And I remember just turning to Troy and being like, we have a little baby boy. We have another boy. And we are so grateful because we only had a boy name. We had no girl names, and it was actually stressing us out a ton because we had no girl names, absolutely none. And I feel like we would have, if it was a girl, we would have named her something we would have regretted 100%. So we were really happy for a little boy. And Weiler is the name of, that's Troy's grandpa. And his first name is technically Victor. We just thought Victor Weiler sounded better than Weiler Victor. And Victor is my dad's name. So our little V-dub, we got our little Weiler. So we were really happy. Side note, Troy and I fixed up a little V-dub van when we were dating. So it's kind of owed to that too. So a lot of meaning in his name. We love Weiler. He is just the sweetest little dude, and we are truly grateful. That is my birth story. And then honestly, everything went really smooth with him. We were trying to get out of the hospital as soon as possible. We just wanted to get home. It was also March Madness. So we wanted to watch basketball games from home and just relax there. Huge shout out to my mom as well. She was with Owit, and it was such a huge help. It was so great knowing like he was taken care of. The doctor was also really funny because she really wanted chocolate, and she came in and she was like, that was such a fun birth. Like she really enjoyed being with us and we really loved her. And she was like, I'm really craving chocolate. And I saw that you had these like Reese's chocolate crackers. And she's like, I thought I did such a good job that you might want to give me some. So we gave our doctor some chocolate Reese's crackers after, and it was just a cute little experience. So I'm very grateful. Huge shout out to that whole team. I thought they were really amazing. So we end up going home, and it was really great. The newborn phase commences, and oh my goodness, I forget how hard it is at the beginning, but I will say it went smoother than with Owit. I think I just knew I wasn't going to sleep, so we just buckled in for that. A week goes by. I am a week postpartum, and I go to my green card interview. And I will spare you the details because I don't want to share them all over this. So if you want to know how it really went, you can send me a message. But I got my green card. Hallelujah. I was so happy. It had been such a long time. So we got that. It was mailed out like a couple weeks later, but it was really awesome. We are super happy. So I was like, being a week postpartum for this was worth it. So now we're looking at like the middle of April, and we know that we have to be in Columbus in July. So we're thinking, okay, how do we squeeze in a trip to Canada? And we somehow found a little way to squeeze it in. So we went at the beginning of June. So it worked out really well as Troy had wrapped up things he needed to with work and school. And we went for almost 2 weeks, and it was just a really great trip. I think I'm left wanting more. I wish I could have stayed there so much longer to see all of our old places that we lived and just things we love to do. And we want to take Owit to Lillooet, where he is named after, but we'll get there. It was also really beautiful because I got to see my grandpa. We had a really close relationship, as he does with all of his grandkids. And I truly did not think I was going to get to see him again, but I got to see him one last time, and he got to meet my boys, which was really special. And he remembered us, and it was a really great little visit. Of course, he was trying to bribe my son with chocolate, and it was just really nice to see him. I really didn't think I would get that opportunity because he actually just passed away 2 weeks ago. So it's kind of, I just think, divine intervention and a really big tender mercy that I was able to see him and he was able to meet my boys. And I'm actually going back to the funeral. When this posts, it'll be that week. So I'm really grateful that I was able to do that. And I know that he is at peace and finally resting. And I hope he's playing some basketball up there. So I'm excited to see him one day, obviously not too soon, but I'm just happy that he can finally be at peace. And I'm grateful that I had one last memory with him. When we went to Canada, also another great thing was all my siblings were able to all be together. It had been 2.5 years. Obviously, they had all seen each other, but I wasn't able to be with everyone. So I was really happy to see everyone. It was quick for some, but it was really nice to all be together. I'm one of 6 kids, so it's a big family, a lot to coordinate, but everyone made it happen, which was really, really sweet. And we had just a really fun time. It was really great, and I honestly cannot wait to go back. It was filled with games, and we tried going to the lake. It rained a couple times, but it was still a lot of fun. When we got back to California, we ended up having to pack super fast. Also, at this time, we loved our community. So before we went to Canada, they threw us a little going away party, and we were able to really just see a lot of friends that have become family. And I am really grateful for them. They mean a lot, and I can't cry right now. I think about it too much because I will start crying, and I don't want to right now. So I'm really grateful for my California crew, and we miss them a lot, and I can't wait to see them in 5 months almost. So then we go back and we packed up our little U-Haul in our car, and we drove 30 hours to Indiana. We made some pit stops. We saw my family in Utah, and that was really fun. And then we eventually made it out to Indiana. So that's kind of been our year. It's kind of been crazy. If you're still with me listening, you're amazing. And that's kind of what's going on. So that's why it's taken me so long to feel organized and have the energy to do all this, is because we moved to a new place. I had a baby. We've done trips and everything. So a phrase that keeps coming to my mind is building resiliency. I think back to when we moved to California, and I actually had a really hard time when we went to California. I just felt like my heart was in Canada, and I had no friends and family. So it was really tough at the beginning. But that lasted about a month, and now I love California, and I would do anything to stay, but I know I eventually will have to leave there for real. So when we moved out here, I have honestly had a really good attitude about coming out here, just because I knew this could be a potential place we could live. So I really wanted to see it, and we wanted our family to experience it and see what we thought. And I feel like I had a really good attitude, honestly, until we got here, and it hit me really hard. It was like I finally took a deep breath and took in everything that had just happened this year. And I was like, what the heck? Where am I? Why would I leave California? Why are we here? It is humid. It is so different than what I'm used to. And I don't have my village, and I don't have my family. So the first week, I will totally admit, I was not the best. And thank goodness for Troy and his patience and kindness. He was really great in helping me through all of it. But it was hard, and I felt like just honestly really exhausted, and I just wanted people that I knew. And it was having a hard time just adjusting. We had been traveling so much and gone on so many trips right before we left that he started to be really clingy to me. And honestly, I said this to a couple people. I just felt like I ruined him. I was like, he was so carefree and did whatever he wanted and wasn't attached to me. And I loved it because I felt like he was his own little person. And then coming here, he has been really clingy. And it just is a good reminder, because I think of myself. I have called my mom almost every day since being here. And I just want my mom. And obviously, it just wants his. And I'm his mom. I'm his safety net. I am a constant in his life. And I just need to remind myself how grateful I am that I have a son who feels most comfortable with me. So that is something I am trying to remind myself, even in the times that I need him to peel off of me. It's been good. And he's honestly warming up great, and he's starting to love it. The humidity is taking us a little bit longer though. We are almost a month of being here, and I am so grateful for our faith and our church. It has been really great. I don't know how I would do it without them, because it's like an instant family. So we've made some really nice friends, and it's been really amazing. And I'm learning all of the things that this little town has to offer. And it's really, honestly, super cute. And it's really lovely. I'm really enjoying just getting to be in a new space and a new place and experiencing that. So then that brings me back to just like building resiliency. And I think of myself and as an adult. There's been many times that I think these are defining moments on how I'm going to react and how I am going to be as a human, as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, as a sister, and as a friend. I have moments where I want to totally shut down and I don't want to make an effort. I don't want to put myself out there. I want to be angry. And I'm not talking about just right now. Like, I just think in my life, there's been moments that I can see are defining moments. And I think this is another one. I learned after California really quick that I need people. I need a village. I can't be a homebody. I will go stir crazy. My sons don't need it. They need to get out and experience life. So that was something this time after a week of sulking and being sad. I was like, all right, we got to put ourselves out there and get into the community, get to know people, make some friends. And what a blessing and what a just total turnaround. Like, as soon as we get doing those things, I feel much better. Our life feels much better and lighter. And I know that we can get through this. It's another moment where I think we're just building resiliency for whatever may come. We don't know what the future has. We don't know what's going to happen when Troy graduates. But these are moments that I think, okay, we did this and we can do tough things. And as a mom, I think, okay, I'm going to remember this and know I can do hard things. And I think there's a lot of times in motherhood where life feels overwhelming, life feels heavy, life feels hard. But I'm trying to take a step back and think, wow, I am doing tough things and I'm doing it with my kids and with my husband. And I can continue to do tough things and I can find the joy in it. And I know moving may not be like the toughest thing in the world, but for me right now, it is. It is. It's tough. It's tough leaving something that's comfortable, but I know that it'll only help our family in the long run. And that's what I keep reminding myself, is that I am helping our family for the future of us. And at times it's going to be difficult. At times it'll be hard, but I just need to remember to be patient. And I know that there will be blessings. I know that there will be strength and growth all through that. So another reason why this is called Grow Wild is I just feel like we moved east, but I'm out in like the wild, wild east. And we're just trying something new. We have no ties out here, no family, no just roots here. So it's very new. I'm really grateful because we're getting to learn a new part of the country and just experience something that's different. With all of this, I have been really taking it day by day, week by week. We've only been here about a month, but I'm starting to just see like, okay, I'm a strong woman and I am capable to do hard things. A song that I absolutely love is Keep Your Head Up by Birdie. I first heard this song probably years ago, but I remember hearing it for the first time after Owe It, and I probably started crying because I just felt like I'm back. I can do things. I can do hard things. I'm a mom. I'm a woman. I can do anything that I put my mind to. And I recently heard that song again, and I don't know why it strikes with me so hard. It becomes a mantra to me where I know I can do this and I am resilient and I can get through it. There's a line that says, "You're slowly coming back to life." And that just hits so hard for me because postpartum is just a blur. Pregnancy is tough. I had a pretty smooth pregnancy, so I don't want to complain, but it's hard. You're sacrificing your body in so many ways. And I'm selfish in the sense of like, I love my body. I love to feel like me. So when I hear that song and I hear the line, "You're slowly coming back to life," it just brings me so much peace and joy to know other women are on this journey. Other people are going through hard things and we are all doing it together. And no, you don't know what everyone's struggles are, but I know mine. and I'm going to try to be positive about it. And I am slowly coming back to life. I can see the little glimmers in my day. And I just remind myself to be patient. Things take time. Good things take time. And that's a really hard lesson. But I'm discovering what is good for me in a whole new sense. These moves that we've done as a family are just making us stronger. We rely really strong on each other and we grow our relationship. I wouldn't say it's roses and butterflies and happy feelings all the time. But I know that the lessons that we're learning makes me a stronger wife, a stronger woman, a stronger mother, a stronger friend, a stronger daughter. And those are the things that matter. And even when it's tough, that we can get through it. And I know many other women out there are going through hard things and life is heavy at times. And just know that I may not know what your struggles are. I may not know what you're going through, but I'm here for you. I don't want to get into comparing. I was talking to another mom about this. Just because someone else is going through something hard doesn't make your experience better, I would say. Maybe it makes it a little better because you know someone else is struggling, but I think it's kind of scary when you start to compare who's got it worse than me or who's got it better than me. I think you just take it day by day, try to make the best of your situation, and you're going to get through it. And that's all I can say. That's what I keep telling myself in the hard times. I'm like, I can get through this. I can do hard things. And it's those little moments that just help me become a better person. And I know now when I see someone else that is in a situation that I am, I know how to better serve them and I know how to better help. And even when I see our family in a future situation that's hard, I know how to help my family in a different way. But oh my goodness, I could go on and on about that. So that was my little soapbox rant. But I think I'm in a good place right now. My body is feeling better. I feel like my mental clarity is getting clearer. I'm really happy that I can start working out again. And I am just ready to start getting after some of these new goals now that I'm postpartum. And I'm looking forward to just adventuring and experiencing this new area. So with all of that, that was my crazy first half of the year. Who knows what the second half will hold? I'm excited to learn and see what over here has to offer. I'm really excited for some new women coming up to share their stories. I've got so many awesome ones lined up. So you're going to have to watch the Instagram, see who is coming, but they are really awesome and have some beautiful stories. And I think so many people, so many women are going to be able to relate with them and their experiences. That is my overall goal for this, is for all of us to be able to come together and to have a little less judgment, but to just spotlight how amazing women are and how amazing our lives are. And even in the hard times, that we can find peace and joy and grow together. So I'm really grateful. And I'm excited for this second half of the year. So get ready for some more Grow Wild. I'm sure I'll have more stories for you. But thank you for listening. And if you made it all the way, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support and love that I get. Thank you. And I can't wait to continue to grow wild with you. Bye.